Good morning. Happy Halloween week, everybody. In my opinion, one of the best times of the year. We don't really do Halloween here in Australia. It's not a commonly celebrated holiday. There's occasionally kids that dress up and run around and, like, you know, knock on doors and stuff, but it just doesn't happen. So I figured, let's bring the cheer in another way. Let's read some books. Let's read some spooky, scary books. But is she going to read the books that she has purchased previously for Halloween themed videos that she still hasn't read yet? Nay. She has purchased a new book for this specifically, in a theme of being scared and spooked and all things spooky, scary, not skeletons. We're going to be reading House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. Now, I did toss up reading Gideon the Ninth, which is just like your sci-fi, spooky, spectacular lesbian necromancers. Would have been perfect for this. However, I wanted something that was going to be quick, that it was going to be easy, and it was going to be like watching a movie. And I hear, because I haven't actually read any Riley Sager, but that's what his writing is like. Do I know the premise of the book? No. Interesting. This sounds terrifying. So, the back of the book is telling me. It says, recently widowed actress Casey Fletcher has escaped her family's lake house for peace and quiet. She's been happily losing herself in her thoughts and several bottles of bourbon. Until the glamorous couple across the lake catch her attention. They look so perfect, just like Casey and her husband used to be. But is anyone what they seem? Is Casey as perfect as she thinks? She has a detective sat at her kitchen table and she has a man bound and gagged upstairs. Alright, I'm in. Let's start it. Let's read some spooky things. I'm ready to be scared. I got scared in Verity, so I'm 90% sure that this is gonna make me lose my marbles. Did you do this? It's raining, but this is 100% worth it. Oh, hi! You're so little! Friends! Hey, I've had a nap, so let's chat. I fell asleep for about an hour, thoroughly needed. I think I was very tired. So we've made a coffee. We're just over 100 pages into House Across the Lake, and I have actually not that many thoughts, not as many as I thought I was going to. I feel like I'm really just along for the ride with this one. It's just taking me where the lake is flowing. I mean, I'm not here for the characters. It's definitely a plot-driven book, which is fine. Normally I don't like plot-driven books, but here we are. I just kind of want to know what happened. I'm not feeling the suspense yet. I'm not scared. I don't feel tense at all. I'm guessing what's happened. I have theories as to what's happening in the book, but I cannot confirm nor deny at this stage whether or not they're correct. I have a suspicion what's happening with the house across the lake. I don't know how the lake plays into it though, because there's all these ghost stories about things and stuff and things and stuff. But we've had already at this point one flick back to the present in which our lovely Casey has a man tied to her bed, and that has flicked back once, but now we're back in the past. So I'm just gonna keep drinking my coffee and reading. I've abandoned the Jack Skellington mug because as cute as it is difficult to drink out of given its shape. I'm hoping that it gets more intense soon because I would very much like to be scared now. I'm not scared enough for my liking. Gah!
A few moments later.
I'm mad because I'm just over halfway through. I'm not scared, and I think I've just guessed the twist. So watch this space, I think my theory's right. It's different to the theory I had at the start, so that's cool. But I reckon I'm right now. I reckon I'm right this time. What are we doing? I think I'm right. I'm like 97% sure that I'm right. I still have like a third of the book left though, so I could be wrong. We will see what happens. I do digress. It has been over a week since I finished reading The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager, and I didn't tell you about it. So just to finalize everything, I read The House Across the Lake. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I had a good time with the page turner thrillery aspect of this book. However, I really disliked so many of the characters. I don't think the story was that strong. I did have fun. It was very easy to read. I thought I had guessed the ending, but I didn't. But then I did, but then I wasn't sure if I did, and it was just very confusing and very misleading. I had whiplash by the end of this book, just with how many twisty-turny things happened towards the end. So that was really interesting to start. I did not expect this to take some kind of weird magical realism route, even though it kind of didn't, but it did. I really don't know. I really don't know. I do think that it was a very easy thriller to read, though I wasn't overly scared at times. I didn't feel like I needed to put the book down. I did have fun, which is all I can ask from a book. I probably will pick up another Riley Sager at some point, however, my local bookstores tend not to stock them all that much. I do have some other thrillers on my bookshelf at the moment, which I'm excited about, because thriller is a genre that I didn't think I would be interested in, but I just find that there is a comfort in being slightly scared, but then also so engrossed and enthralled in a book that you are scared to turn the page. And that's something that I really appreciate and that I really enjoy. That's a plus for the thriller genre that I didn't realize I had. Very interesting characters. They're all flawed, which is something that I can appreciate in writing, because it's really hard to have a book that you like where all of the characters are flawed and relatively unrelatable. Like, these are all incredibly rich people living in an incredibly secluded and exclusive lakeside houses. Like, that's the shtick of this book. That's why they're there. But it's just so interesting to read about it and then not particularly like any of them. Except for that like one caretaker guy. I think I liked him, but he was in it for a total of like maybe one entire page in the entire book. But I read House Across the Lake. That is our spooky Halloween themed-ish vlog for this year. When this comes out, there is actually a high likelihood that I won't be in the country, so that is why we just have one book at this point. But just know that I will be reading other spooky books around the time that you are seeing this, which is not the time for me right now. Stay tuned. I have more updates about other books that I'm reading for Halloween and such over on my Instagram, so if you want to see any of that, go follow me over there. I will leave a link down below, but it is at meekela reads. But that is all for my spooky vlog. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you're having a fantastic day or night or whatever time it is where you are in the world, and I will see you next week. Bye!